My name is Matt Christensen. I'm the captain in charge of our criminal investigations division for the Fargo Police Department. I'm here today to provide an important update regarding the homicide investigation that began on August 3rd, 2025 in downtown Fargo with the tragic death of 19-year-old Azim Holmes. Since that date, our department has been diligently investigating the murder case and trying to locate suspect 20-year-old Tyrque Jones. This has been a top priority for our agency, and our investigators have worked tirelessly to follow leads, gather evidence, and coordinate with partner agencies to include the United States Marshal Service across the country. Today at 12:09 p.m., Tyrque Jones was taken into custody in Minneapolis, Minnesota by the United States Marshal Service North Star Fugitive Task Force based in Minneapolis, St. Paul. This arrest was made possible through the outstanding investigation by our team at Fargo PD, hours of surveillance by not only our team, but several other agencies in several states, and through collaboration with our local United States Marshal Service High Plains Fugitive Task Force, who assisted our department in locating and apprehending Jones. Mr. Jones is currently in custody in the Hennepin County Jail. We actually have two of our detectives on the way down there now to interview him related to the August 3rd incident. We'll be working with the Cass County State's Attorney's Office to get him extradited back to Cass County to face charges related to the August 3rd homicide. Shortly after the arrest, our detectives did notify the family of Azim Holmes that Jones had been arrested. Our department remains committed to supporting them through this difficult time, and we recognize the profound impact this crime has had on their lives. I want to recognize the dedication of our detectives, officers, and support staff who have worked around the clock on this case. I also want to thank the U.S. Marshal Service for their partnership and professionalism over the last 4 months to help locate and apprehend Jones. This arrest demonstrates the strength of interagency cooperation, our strong professional working relationships with our local, state, and federal partners, and our shared commitment to public safety. To our Fargo community, we know this case has weighed heavily on many of you. We fully understand the frustration many of you may have felt with how long it has taken us to locate Jones. And I can tell you that we have felt that same frustration, but it did not deter our resolve to continue to locate and apprehend Jones. Today's arrest is a significant step toward justice. While the legal process will continue and Jones is presumed innocent until proven guilty, we hope this brings some measure of reassurance that we remain steadfast in our mission to protect and serve. I also want to be clear that the Fargo Police Department will not tolerate gun violence in our community. Incidents like this are unacceptable, and we will continue to work tirelessly to prevent such acts, hold offenders accountable when they do occur, and keep Fargo safe. I cannot go into great detail on some of the investigative methods used to locate Jones, but I can say that he was located at a residence that recently came to our attention through the investigation. Surveillance was then conducted until we were able to confirm his presence there earlier this morning. Once we had that confirmation, a plan was developed to safely take him into custody, which was done with great efficiency and without incident by the United States Marshal Service North Star Task Force. We are continuing to investigate the circumstances which surround Jones' ability to avoid capture for the last 4 months, and will be analyzing what, if any, charges may be brought against individuals we can determine were assisting him in avoiding capture. At this time, the investigation remains active, and certain details cannot be released to protect the integrity of the case. Our investigators are continuing to conduct interviews, analyze evidence, and develop the case investigation to ensure we provide all the necessary information to the state's attorney for consideration of charges. We will provide updates as appropriate as the court process moves forward. I do want to thank our community for your patience, your trust, and your support of the Fargo Police Department. And with that, I'll not take any questions, but please understand I may not be able to, or I might be very limited on what I can share.
Awesome. Thank you so much for holding this press conference today. My first question for you today, how long have you guys been tracking Jones in that Minneapolis area, and has Jones been connected to any other crimes that may have gave you guys any indication he was in that area over the last 4 months?
So as far as the timeline, there's been several addresses, not only in Minnesota, North Dakota, but also down in Arizona that we've been trying to focus on. With help from our federal partners, some of our local partners in those areas as well. So the timeline for this particular address, like I said, this address came to our attention here relatively recently. And so that's kind of how that played out. And then you have to remind me what the second part of your question was.
When was,
Oh, the other crimes. Yeah, to my knowledge, there aren't any other crimes that he was associated with or anything that he had done down there that would have brought us to the attention. The address that we got for him to focus on came through the investigation.
Was anybody else arrested at the same time as he was at that residence?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay, and just one other question. You have said earlier in interviews with various outlets that some belief that his family may have been helping him. Is there any indication that this residence was affiliated with his family?
I don't have that information at the moment, but that's definitely stuff that we're going to continue to look into, because obviously if somebody was helping him, we want to hold those people accountable as well.
Thank you, Richard.
What message do you have for the family of Azim Holmes now that, today is the 4-month mark since that August 3rd shooting happened?
Yeah, like I said, just that we're here to support them. Any questions that they have or anything that we can do to help them through this process. Obviously, this has been a very large tragedy for their family as well as our community. And so our message to them is just like to our community is thank you for your patience, thank you for your support of our police department, and thanks for your understanding with how we tried to work through this as diligently as we could to try to bring Mr. Jones to justice.
Captain, I know the duration of this investigation is pretty noteworthy, and I know you can't speak for the U.S. Marshals that actually took him into custody, but was there ever any doubt within the department that you would actually be able to get this done, or were you always confident that he would eventually be apprehended?
We knew we would eventually get apprehended.
Do you think the federal or the increased federal presence in the Twin Cities as of late helped in finding Jones and that address?
So like I said, we were working with their task force down there that has always been there. I don't know that any of the recent things that have gone on in Minneapolis had anything to do with this investigation.
Do we believe that, or does the Fargo Police Department believe that Jones has been in this region, whether it was the FM area, then going over into the Hennepin County, the Minneapolis area, over the past 4 months, do we believe that he was always in this region?
I can't speak to that. I don't have that knowledge. I know that, like I said, there's been several locations that we had through the investigation that we were trying to identify if he was there. Obviously, to this point, we did not have any eyes on him or locate him at any of those addresses until today. So as far as where he's been this whole time, that would only be speculation. I don't have any evidence to support if he's been here the whole time or has been traveling around the country. That I don't know.
I do have one follow-up too. Like you said, detectives are going down there right now to interview him. Does the Fargo Police Department plan on releasing any of that interview footage, when all is said and done, and trying to find a specific motive as to why this August 3rd shooting took place?
Yeah, and that would all be through public records requests once we're able to release that stuff.
Just one final question for you. Do you guys have an idea when he'll be extradited back here to Cass County?
We're working through that, and I can't speak for sure when that would occur, hopefully here in the very near future.
You might have said this, but I missed it. Did he go into custody peacefully, or was there a standoff? Was it, I know you
Yeah, no,
verified
it
that
was
he-
without incident. The only thing I can say is I think he tried to give a fake name when they dealt with him, but obviously they knew who he was, so. All right, if no other questions, thank you. And again, I just want to thank our federal partners, all of our local and state partners. Obviously, this has been a long time coming, and we had a lot of help. We couldn't have done it by ourselves, so I just, again, want to really say thank you to the United States Marshal Service and all the other agencies, as well as all of our personnel here at the Fargo Police Department. Obviously, we've had other things that we've had to deal with as well, so just want to say appreciate all the hard work and the partnership that we have, not only locally, but through the region. So thank you.